Good morning, everybody. Good morning, team. It is so terrific to be here with all of you as we start our caucus retreat here in beautiful Kitchener. Yeah. Look at all of us. A strong 29-member team representing every corner of this province, from the north to the south, the west to the east, from downtown Toronto to Sandy Lake First Nation in the far northwest, from Nepean to Windsor, from London to Hearst. We have a powerful movement here. And outside these doors, we have a powerful movement as well, with volunteers eager to connect with Ontarians, riding association members, activists, all across this great province. I am so proud of the work we are doing in our communities and at Queen's Park, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the trust you have put in me and for how we have worked together to take on a government that is, let's just say, hell-bent on making a select few of their already very rich friends even richer. Yeah, a government, let's not forget as well, that has rejected the basic principles, the oath that we all swore when we were elected, an oath of ethics and integrity, accountability and trust. With each passing day, Doug Ford and his Conservative government seem to be getting even more audacious, more brazen with their tactics. They've pushed Ontarians to the brink, and I think you know this, Ontarians have had enough. Yeah. Going into these past few months, I knew that we had our work cut out for us, dealing with municipal overhauls and the continued sell-off of our public health care system. And, you know, oh my God, the Greenbelt. The Greenbelt. Ontarians, all of us, knew something didn't smell right about that deal. But I can honestly say, I think we were all surprised by the depth of what was revealed in the Auditor General's investigation. Sadly, it confirmed exactly what we have all been saying, that this government has been up to some very dirty deals. And now, the Integrity Commissioner's report just last week, even more damning. And all the more reason for us, the official opposition NDP, to keep up the pressure and stay focused on exposing the truth for Ontarians. Your work, your focus has resulted in the resignation from Cabinet, finally, of the Minister of Housing, Steve Clark. Yeah. But this isn't the time for us to rest on our laurels, because we are just getting started. We are just starting to get the answers about what happened here, and Ontarians deserve the truth. And if we don't stop the corrupt Conservatives from carving up the Greenbelt and selling off our health care and our education systems to the highest bidder, they're going to do this over and over and over again. And I mean, bulldozing the Greenbelt through dodgy backroom deals shows you just how far they're willing to go. The work we did to get those reports, which finally gave Ontarians some transparency, was so important. And none of it would have been possible without all of you. We know that Ontarians are counting on us not to leave any stone unturned. But they're also looking to us to deliver the solutions that they very desperately need to survive the current housing and healthcare, climate, and affordability crises. The Ontario NDP's presence, you know, it was so good to see so many of you at the Association of Municipalities of Ontario conference, and that was all the confirmation I needed that everyone, from municipalities, city councillors, reeves, really most Ontarians, are fed up with where Doug Ford is leading this province. We met with 26 delegations at AMO, and so many people are still reaching out to me and my office to thank us for the work that we're doing, to thank us for seeing them, and the housing, the cost of living, the funding issues that they're facing. People are ready for the values, the policies that New Democrats bring to the table. And even, yes, in communities where they have voted Conservative for generations. I know that because I spent my summer on the road, like a lot of you, talking to people about what they were going through, what they're going through today, hearing their ideas on how we fix things, because we, the Ontario NDP, we're about giving people a leg up, bringing people together, investing in healthcare and education, mental health, making sure that working people have what they need to support themselves, their families, their communities. Because it's by building strong and caring communities that we're going to build a truly prosperous Ontario. Yeah. It's all of our vision. It's our vision. And the Greenbelt scandal is a glimpse into the way that Doug Ford and the Conservatives operate. And it is also a perfect example of what we stand against: cronyism, insider deals, using the power of government not to make life better for people, but to enrich a wealthy few. It makes my blood boil, right? That we have a government that is willingly and consciously putting our environment, our food security, and our well-being at risk. And under the false premise that this has anything to do with housing or affordability. You know, Ontarians aren't buying that. This government, they're disrespecting the people who put them into office, taking them for fools, because Ontarians know very well that developing luxury sprawl on the Greenbelt is going to do nothing to build the affordable housing we need, and everything to make life even more expensive for Ontarians. You know, this Greenbelt grab, it just shows us how little they care. If they even care at all. They're willing to risk this province, our province, as well as present and future generations. The Greenbelt, and we always say this, but it's so true, right? It's a jewel. It's prime agricultural land. It gives us food. It protects us from flooding. It's a carbon sink, right? It's where Ontarians go to hike and experience nature. And this government wants to take that away from us? Well, they have another thing coming. All of you holding Doug Ford's feet to the fire, forcing him to listen, because once the Greenbelt and its vital, its crucial ecological land is gone, it is gone forever. And I'm gonna tell you, this summer made my resolve even stronger. Our province is literally burning. Things have never been this bad. I know we're all in this to protect future generations from extreme weather events and heat waves and heavy rainfall and severe storms. I know we're fighting so hard because we know what's at stake for our neighbors and the communities that we represent, for future generations. Doug Ford is playing these games because he's cynical, because the Conservatives are cynical. And they believe the people of this province are cynical. Well, you know what? That's so far from the truth. They may be disillusioned, yeah, but Ontarians are not cynical. When I was at the Metro picket line, and thank you, by the way, to a lot of you, who were able to join at that picket line, and you've joined many other picket lines this summer, let's say. But I heard from the workers there, and it really struck me. Many of those workers have been working for Metro for 30, 40 years, before when it was Dominion, and they're still making $20 an hour, right? They're close to retiring. Many of them, but they're on the line. They were striking because they knew it wasn't about them. It was about the workers and the people that are coming after them. Many of those workers were fighting because they want their successors, their grandchildren, to be able to afford food in the very store that they work in, so that CEOs and executives don't line their pockets with profits off the back of the very people who are on the ground working outrageously long shifts, but proud of the service they provide and the communities that they feed. And those Metro workers, they exercised their people power, and they won. Now, the people of this province are not cynical. They're tired. They're tired of the status quo, from conservative and liberal governments and the scandals they bring, from the Greenbelt corruption to the gas plants, Walkerton, Orange, e-health, governments that put their own interests first and the needs of Ontarians last. You know, I saw my friend, Unifor National President Lana Payne on Labor Day, and I know all of us are out marching and at Labor Day celebrations across the province just a couple of days ago, and Lana and I were talking about this moment that we're in, because it feels historic. Things are bad for a lot of people, but they are also, there's also this issue of those very wealthy folks who are making so much. And those people who are having a hard time, they're not willing to settle for half measures or meager offerings. They've had enough. Lana has this saying that I remember from, because we both come from Newfoundland originally, and when I was growing up, there was this saying we had, and she uses it a lot. She says, a match to a blasty bough. Now, first of all, you need to know what a blasty bough is. It's when you have a bunch of pine or fir, like a branch, and it's all dried up so much that it's practically gray, right? It's just falling apart almost. And years ago, employers, merchants, you know, they underestimated the ability of plant workers and fishermen and such to organize into unions. But things had gotten so bad, decades and decades of exploitation and injustice, that when the idea struck, it was like a match to a blasty bough. The fire was lit. Over and over, regular people are underestimated. They're taken for granted. But then the fire is lit. And people are looking at us to lead the way and to do things differently. And they're seeing how New Democrats stand up for them. When I look around this room, I see the resolve. I see the desire to shake things up. I see how each and every one of you are turning up for your constituents, door knocking, listening, doing things differently. And I still think about when I flew into Thunder Bay and Saul here, our deputy leader, had invited me. He said, you need to be there for the swearing in of the new Anishinaabe Nation Grand Chief Alvin Fiddler. And I listened really carefully. Lise was also there with us. I listened really carefully to his words when he spoke about what it means to be a leader, because it really moved me. He said, it's a privilege that comes with listening and of always learning from your successes and from your mistakes. And one of the big reasons that I ran to be leader of this party is because the disillusionment of Ontarians was frankly making me pretty sad. So many people chose not to vote last election because they believed their vote and their voice doesn't matter. But we here, we know that it does. And we are connecting with them in every corner of Ontario, and we are making sure they are heard. And we are showing them the difference they can make together. And that is true leadership. I will say it's not an easy time to be in opposition. But the work that we're doing as the official opposition in Ontario is more important than ever. I'm excited about where we're headed. I'm excited about the next 2.5 years to 2026, when we are going to win government in this province. We've already made some real progress. Doug Ford and the Conservatives are sweating from the way that we're turning up the heat on them on behalf of the people of this province. How we're standing on those picket lines with workers from Hamilton to Toronto. Hello, TVO. Hello, TVO workers, right? TFO. To Ottawa. Ottawa. Hello, hydro workers. To those Windsor salt workers. You know, that was a hell of a strike. Thank you, Lisa. To Bradford and the library workers who are out on the line. Right? And today, CUPE and ONA out on the line, right? Together, those public health nurses and public health workers. Well, but yeah. And while they're out there, the Conservatives are busy making these cozy backroom deals with insider developers. It's the way that we're taking on the climate crisis seriously, while they rip open important ecological land, and how we're actually fighting to make life more affordable in meaningful ways, when they can't think beyond constructing McMansions and luxury spas for millionaires. Over the next few days, we're going to continue to define our solutions, our offer to the people of Ontario to make life easier for them, to raise wages and lower the cost of living, so people don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. This is a need we have already heard loud and clear while we've been out knocking on doors for Debbie Chapman, our amazing candidate. Yeah. Debbie's our amazing candidate here in Kitchener Centre. People need relief. We're going to continue to define our solutions to make life easier for people, our solutions to shorten wait times for health care and keep emergency rooms open, our solutions to ensuring our children and our elders, the most vulnerable in our communities, get the support that they need when they need it, our solutions to get the federal and provincial governments back in the business of building homes that people can actually afford. We used to do that. You know, we used to do that in Ontario. We used to do that in Canada. And to build strong, caring communities where everybody has access to quality public schools, good jobs, clean drinking water, social supports, decent, safe jobs, and the opportunities for a good life that everyone deserves. Ontarians are noticing the difference. More Ontarians are writing to us. They're saying thank you for standing up for them. They're asking what they can do to help and how they can join this progressive movement. And I want to thank all of you for the work you've been doing each and every day, serving your communities, serving Ontarians. NDP MPPs do more, because we never take this privileged position or the oaths that we have sworn for granted, right? We are fighting for affordability, for public health care, for stronger services, yes, but we are also fighting to return basic order to government and democracy too. We're returning trust. You know, it's really about returning trust. So let's continue to stand united. Let's stand strong. Let's keep pushing back against this government's dirty and selfish politics. Let's continue to win more for people today and every day until we win government in 2026. Thank you all for your hard work, your passion, and the work we're going to do over the next few days. Merci, miigwech. Thank you, everybody.